Hey, what's going on? SirBlackson97 here, back in another Mail Day pack break. Today we've got a massive amount of cards and loot, courtesy of Dark Magician Dude, who's kind enough to send in, obviously, a playmat, a deck box, a field center, and a not-so-subtle way of saying that he's collaborating for our second deck profile together, that being Sword Soul. So without further ado, let's see what Swords, Souls, and Worms we have chalked up today, along with a bunch of other bonus cards as well. There's a lot in here. Starting with 3 copies of Incredible Ecclesia, the Virtuous. Really great way to get a Sword Soul card straight from the deck. Just a nice way to open up, especially if you're going second. It's kind of like a Pancratop summoning condition, where as long as your opponent has more stuff than you, you're able to get a nice Ecclesia going, and then Tribute just to grab your Sword Soul from deck. One of the cards you'll definitely be grabbing or just normal summoning into is Sword Soul of Moye. Great 3-up to have in the deck. Up next, we have 3 copies of Sword Soul Strategist Long Wong. Another great one to open up into and getting to those level 10 synchros. 2 copies of Sword Soul Taya, just to make use of all the graveyard cards we'll be throwing around and all the other resources we've already used. 3 copies of Sword Soul Emergence, just for that search, especially if you have a synchro on the field, then it just turns into a generic worm monster. Same thing kind of applies for Sacred Summit being a Monster Reborn for your Sword Souls, or Worms if you have a Synchro. And then a bunch of other 10E support, Heavenly Dragon Circle for that Tribute and Search. Vessel of the Dragon Cycle as a nice archetypal Foolish Burial. 2 Botted Desires, as Banishing is kind of part of the Sword Soul playstyle, plus it boosts up Cheng Ying, so definitely gives you a lot of bonuses there. 2 Blackout, just to kind of help clear out the field. Moving on to our 10Es, we have 3 copies of Adhara, just to recover some of our banished worms. 3 copies of Ashuna, just to grab worms from deck, or specifically 10Es. 3 copies of Vishuddha for the returning back to hand. 1 copy of Shithana, just to kind of help pair up with our extra deck, but also recovering some of our normal monsters if they ever get destroyed, like our monks. Some bonus cards as well with some Solemn Strikes. Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. Was not expecting this one, especially the gold one. He definitely knows, Dark Magician Dude knows I'm definitely a sucker for all the gold rare cards, so that's definitely a nice little bonus. Sword Soul Sinister Sovereign King Long Wong. Yazi Evil of the Yang Xing. Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign Chen Ying. A lot of tongue twisters. Chao Fang Phantom of the Yang Xing. Adamant Pater Risen Dragite. Nice little negate and destroy if we have a water monster in the grave, which Moye and Shithana both fulfill that requirement. And they'll probably be in the graveyard more often than not. Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. 2 Baxia Brightness of the Yang Xing. Sword Soul Grandmaster Xiao Xiao. Another Sinister Sovereign King Long Wong. Couple Monks of the Tenyi, and 1 Shaman of the Tenyi. Woo! That's a lot of Sword Soul stuff coming our way. Pretty much a majority of the deck will be entirely all these cards. I'll probably change up just like a couple, maybe like 4 or 5, but for the most part, Dark Magician Dude is the mad scientist behind this whole thing. I was just lucky enough to get the core from him and the deck, along with all the other additional accessories. So stay tuned for when the full profile comes out and we get the remaining cards for the deck. That hopefully should come around early November, so stay tuned for that. But huge thanks again to Dark Magician Dude. Super excited to be collaborating on another deck profile together. If you haven't seen the first one, the Live Twin Evil Twin deck, I'll be sure to link that down below. But in any case, we'll see you guys early November for the Sword Soul deck profile. Until next time, see you all later.